Urgency is not something that most people welcome in their lives. When we feel urgency, it is often accompanied by stress, by pressure, by discomfort. Yet when you look deeply, urgency is not your enemy. Urgency is the messenger. It is the quiet whisper of life turning into a loud call. It is the universe telling you that time is not infinite, that every breath counts, that the decisions you make in this very moment will echo into your future. Many people waste their days waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect timing, the perfect circumstances before they act. But life is not a gentle teacher. Life pushes, life presses, life demands. That is why urgency arrives. It arrives to shake you, to move you out of complacency, to remind you that you cannot sleepwalk through existence. The one who sees urgency as a gift does not run away from pressure. Instead, they breathe it in and transform it into strength. Think about the greatest shifts of your life. Rarely did they happen in comfort. Rarely did they come while you were relaxed and unbothered. Change is born in the fire of urgency. It is when something feels like it cannot wait, when you feel cornered, when life gives you no other choice. That is when the human spirit reveals its true depth. Without urgency, we postpone. Without urgency, we delay. Without urgency, our potential stays locked away like a seed that is never placed into the soil. But when urgency strikes, the seed breaks, the shell cracks, and growth begins. This is why urgency must not be feared but embraced. It is the spark that ignites movement. The difference between those who rise and those who stay behind is not the absence of urgency, but how they respond to it. Two people can face the same pressing situation. One collapses under the weight, the other uses it to climb. The situation is the same, the urgency is the same, but the perception is different. To one, urgency feels like a curse. To the other, urgency is a gift. And here lies the secret. You cannot control when emergencies arrive, you cannot control when pressure finds you, but you can always choose how you respond. The mind that sees urgency as a chance will never be defeated. Imagine a person who treats every day as if there is no time to waste. They do not say, "Tomorrow I will begin." They do not say, "Someday I will try," because they understand that tomorrow is not guaranteed and someday is not on the calendar. Such a person carries urgency not as a burden, but as a compass. Urgency tells them, act today, speak truth today, move forward today. And because they act today, life moves with them. Opportunities open, strength grows, and what others call luck is simply the result of aligned urgency with action. On the other hand, think of the one who waits endlessly. They say, when things calm down, I will start. When the time is right, I will change. But life never calms down, and the perfect time never arrives. And so they wait and wait and wait until urgency becomes regret. This is the tragedy of many lives. Not that people lacked dreams, not that they lacked talent, but that they lacked the courage to see urgency as their ally. They misread the signal. When urgency knocked, they closed the door. They saw the discomfort, but not the opportunity inside it. Every emergency is a message. It says, wake up. It says, there is something that needs your attention right now. And if you keep ignoring it, life will keep knocking louder and louder until the lesson becomes unavoidable. Some people need small urgencies to change, others need storms, others need to lose almost everything before they understand the value of time. But why wait for such pain to wake you? If you understand now that urgency is a gift, you can awaken without destruction. Urgency strips away the unnecessary. When you feel pressed for time, you stop caring about meaningless details. You stop overthinking, you stop delaying, you stop entertaining distractions. Urgency forces you to focus on what matters most. This is why urgency is not chaos but clarity. It tells you these are your priorities, this is your direction, this is where your energy must flow. Without urgency, life is a haze of endless options and endless postponements. With urgency, the path becomes sharp and clear. You act not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Consider the warrior on the battlefield. If he hesitates, he is lost. If he delays, he is defeated. The pressure of urgency sharpens his mind, awakens his instincts, fuels his discipline. What is a battle for him is a day for you. Every day you are given choices that matter. Every day you are given situations where hesitation can cost you opportunities, where delay can cost you growth. Do not deceive yourself into thinking you have infinite chances. The reality is simple. You do not know how many breaths remain, how many days you are gifted. To waste them is the greatest mistake. To treat them with urgency is wisdom. Think of a student who waits until the last night to study for the exam. That urgency awakens a level of focus they never felt before. Suddenly distractions vanish, suddenly clarity appears, suddenly they can absorb knowledge with intensity. This shows you something profound. The capacity was always there, but it was urgency that unlocked it. The same applies to life. You are capable of more discipline, more creativity, more strength, more resilience than you currently show. But until urgency arrives, you remain asleep to your true power. That is why those who live with self-imposed urgency awaken their potential without waiting for crisis. They train as if the exam is today. They prepare as if the challenge is now. They live as if their time is running out. And because they do, their lives become extraordinary. To see urgency as a gift means to welcome it even when it feels uncomfortable. It means to understand that the pressure you feel is not punishment but preparation. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. Your character is shaped in the moments when urgency pushes you beyond your comfort zone. Without these moments, you remain soft, untested, incomplete. But with urgency, you discover strength you never knew you had. And once you see this, you stop fearing pressure. You stop running from challenge. You stop resisting the call of urgency. Instead, you bow to it, you thank it, you use it. When you live this way, you no longer wait for someday. You understand that someday is not promised. You live as if today is the only day. And ironically, by living with this urgency, your life expands. You achieve more, you grow more. You live more fully in 1 year than most do in a lifetime. Because urgency is not about fear of running out of time. It is about love for the time you have. It is about respect for each moment, each opportunity, each chance to act. It is about refusing to waste what is precious. So when you face the 16th and 17th of September, do not treat them as ordinary days. Treat them as gifts of urgency. Treat them as reminders that life is short, that destiny is near, that decisions matter. Ask yourself, what have I postponed? What have I delayed? What has urgency been trying to show me? And then act. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Because urgency is not against you. Urgency is for you. It is life itself calling you to awaken, to move, to live fully. The wise do not curse urgency. The wise bow to it. The wise see urgency not as a storm that destroys, but as a wind that carries them forward. May you be wise enough to embrace it. May you be strong enough to act upon it. And may you be awake enough to see that urgency is, and always will be, one of the greatest gifts life offers you. The greatest illusion human beings fall into is the illusion of time. We think there is always more of it. We live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, as if we can delay our dreams, as if we can postpone what our hearts whisper today, and somehow return to it later when life is easier, calmer, more convenient. But life does not work like that. Time is the only thing you cannot negotiate with. Once a moment has passed, it is gone forever. And the tragedy of many lives is not that they lacked opportunity or talent or resources. The tragedy is that they kept waiting until it was too late. To act before it is too late is not a cliché, it is a law of life. Every day that you live unconsciously, you give away a piece of your destiny. Every time you say, later, you are gambling with something that cannot be replaced. Later becomes never. Tomorrow becomes regret. And what was once a possibility becomes a wound that whispers inside you, if only I had acted sooner. Think of a farmer who keeps saying he will plant seeds tomorrow. The soil is ready, the season is perfect, but he keeps delaying. He tells himself that the conditions will be even better later. But the rain does not wait. The seasons do not wait. And when the window closes, no matter how much he regrets, no harvest will come. Life works in the same way. Opportunities have a timing. Some doors open only for a short while. If you hesitate, if you delay, if you fail to act, they close. And once they close, no amount of wishing will reopen them. Look deeply into your own life. How many chances have already passed you by because you waited too long? How many times did you feel the call to move, to speak, to change, and you silenced it by saying, "Not today, maybe later"? Every person carries inside them a silent list of missed chances. Words we never said, risks we never took, dreams we never pursued. And when you reflect on them, you feel a sharp sting, because deep down you know those moments will never return. The person you could have been, the path you could have walked, the love you could have embraced, it is gone because you waited too long to act. But urgency teaches us a different way. It teaches us that life does not reward hesitation. Life rewards movement. The smallest action taken today carries more power than the greatest plan postponed endlessly. The future is not promised, but the present is in your hands. That is why you must act before it is too late. Not when conditions are perfect, but when your heart tells you it is time. Not when fear is gone, but even while fear remains. The one who acts while afraid is still braver than the one who waits forever for fear to disappear. Too many people spend their years preparing, but never beginning. They convince themselves that more knowledge, more resources, more courage are needed before they can step forward. But preparation without action becomes paralysis. You do not need to be perfect to begin. You do not need all the answers to start. Action itself teaches you. Action itself builds you. The road is revealed step by step, but only to the one who dares to walk it. Those who stand still, waiting for clarity, never see the path because the path is created by movement. The reason people wait is often because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But what they do not realize is that by not acting, they are already failing. By not speaking, they are already silencing themselves. By not trying, they are already rejecting the life that was meant for them. Fear pretends to protect you, but in truth, it steals your time. It tells you to wait, and in waiting, you lose the very life you are afraid of missing. Acting before it is too late is not only about grand dreams or big decisions. It is also about the small things that matter. Calling someone you love before distance becomes permanent. Saying thank you before the chance disappears. Asking for forgiveness before death or pride closes the door. These small acts may seem minor, but they hold the weight of eternity. Regret does not come only from missed opportunities in career or ambition. Some of the deepest regrets come from the simple acts of love and connection we postponed until there was no more time. The truth is that life will always test you with urgency. It will place you in situations where you must decide quickly, where hesitation could cost you something precious. And in those moments, you will see who you really are. Do you freeze, or do you move? Do you let fear control you, or do you act despite fear? Every act of courage you take strengthens you. Every delay weakens you. This is why the wise say, act before it is too late. History itself is filled with examples of those who acted in the moment and changed the course of destiny. A single decision made in urgency can alter generations. A single step forward when others held back can carve a new path. And yet, history is also filled with countless forgotten names of those who could have been great, but waited too long to rise. The choice between these two outcomes is always determined by action. When you understand the impermanence of life, action becomes natural. When you truly realize that every breath could be your last, procrastination loses its power over you. You no longer delay because you no longer assume there will be more time. You begin to see every sunrise as an invitation to act. Every conversation as a chance to speak truth, every opportunity as a fleeting moment that must be seized. This awareness does not create fear, it creates freedom.